Fuuka is a romance anime. And you know how that goes. In Western media you often have a guy who is actually sort of romantic and knows how to seduce a woman, sometimes being pushy even. Not gonna lie, I hate that, prefer something more subtle. But in anime the MC is always a dense beta otaku teen who doesn't know where he's supposed to put it in. Fuuka is no exception, and in one sentence I already explained my frustration with romantic genre. Every step of the way I wanted to bash the main character's head in with a great hammer and set the main girl on fire because I just can't stand watching teenagers not try to convey their feelings properly and being dense, bland bubblegum that has lost its taste after 5 minutes of chewing and you just want to spit it out already. If it was up to me, I'd put every teenager in the world in prison until they're 21, so maybe by then they become a more put together person. Before I get myself into more trouble and lose all of my 5 teenager subscribers, I'm going to tell you what this show is all about and its main appeal, and why I watch romance anime despite all the problems I have with it. Oh yeah, hi, I'm ManMode. You know how this goes, I tell you if a show is ManMode, meaning badass, awesome and something I can wholeheartedly recommend to a friend, with a simple yes or no answer. Is Fuuka ManMode? This is the 5th one, and you might wanna check out the other episodes, which are much better. This one is kinda filler, okay? I'm working on better stuff. Fuuka is a standard high school romantic drama in every possible sense, and never tries to be anything else. And for all the frustration I have with this genre, I watch them, because somewhere in there, behind all the banging my head against the wall, there is a sincere moment that puts a smile on my face, wishing the characters to be happy and find the one thing that we as humans look for every day: love. All the obvious shortcomings, which there are many and I will expose later on, turn rather insignificant for a moment when we see the main character overcome their pointless awkwardness and cliché misunderstandings and actually become satisfied and happy, forgetting about every problem in the world because they now have a person they can hold hands with. Fuuka thankfully has many of those, that in the end I moderately enjoyed my time with the series. It starts in the most generic way possible. Beta guy who spends all his time looking down interacting with people on social media while being an awkward antisocial fag meets a girl who is the very opposite of him in the most predictable and corny way imaginable. Did you get the impression that this anime is cheesy and cliché in every way possible? I wonder how you came to that conclusion. Mind you, it is unoriginal, but there's nothing wrong with that if the execution is handled well. I wouldn't go so far to call it good, but the series had a certain charm that I was able to turn a blind eye to all its problems. After some bickering, Fuuka and Yu start to bond over music and it's revealed that it's Fuuka's main passion. She decides to later form a band after some very minor encouragement. Like all she needed to hear is one little, "I think your voice is pretty, you should do music." And now she's all, "Wow, I never thought about singing, even though it's my favorite thing to do. Thank you for giving me this mind-blowing advice." Turns out that the "look at me, I'm the side character that is only here to encourage and push the main cast" plays instruments and end up joining the band. Yeah, the main guy starts playing bass and learns it basically overnight, and they magically know how to play in the first rehearsal and get it down by the second and third, which is obviously impossible. I won't point out the more obvious flaws that even children can spot, but I'll let you know that there are many, and I myself am able to somewhat forgive those inconveniences and let the show tell me what it wants to. It would be like telling a magician to put down his hat and coat for you to expose his magic when all he wants to do is only entertain and surprise you. Despite being able to guess the trick, just let him do his thing and don't be a smug asshole about it. Anyway, somewhere along the lines, we get introduced to the main character's childhood friend, aka obvious love interest, who is now here to get the dick she always wanted and stir the pot. Now it's a love triangle. And the worst thing about this, aside from it being another generic trope, is that now you know for a fact that at least one of those people is going to be left heartbroken. That person didn't deserve that. Why do I have to do this? Why can't you be like Ore Monogatari and just be sweet and innocent all the way through? You see every supposed twist coming from a mile away, like a giant asylum demon's telegraphed attack that you know is going to get your head smashed in. But, much like Asylum Demon, who you thought was going to be much worse, end up dealing minimal damage to you, I have to say Fuuka dealt with all of that with me only being slightly butthurt about some dumb twists. In the end, it managed to resolve itself in a way that I didn't feel like it was too painful of a journey, just like beating the Asylum Demon.
Very good.
My main problem with you, besides him being an uncharismatic, awkward, incapable of anything beta teen bitch, was that he didn't come off as if he truly cared about any of the girls. That's mostly due to him not showing much emotion and generally being a boring guy. I felt like he didn't deserve to get all this love, because he wasn't returning the feelings. Yes, he's a nice guy, but why is that enough? It's not, and so many romances get away with it. Before I wrap this up, let me gloss over some other things that I didn't feel like analyzing in this video. I wish some of the side characters were more fleshed out because they did seem very likable. It's funny that the gay guy and some other grown-up supporting characters were the most down-to-earth cool dudes who actually called out the stupid teenagers for, well, being stupid teenagers. And I really enjoyed the band's music and performances. The concert had a huge significance to the plot and I have to give them credit. They were fantastic, and it's possibly what stood out the most looking back at it. It is partially a music anime, so job well done. I enjoyed the story, I honestly did. I don't want to under or oversell it, but I had a decent time. It had the potential to handle a lot of its subjects much better, and it screwed up many times, but in the end, it had many genuinely endearing and sweet moments that had me smiling and giggling like a 14-year-old girl, and it tried to tell a story, deliver a message, and say something. Is Fuuka ManMode? No. But if you enjoy your standard, rather generic, full of cliches, vanilla high school romance drama, like I do now and then, if you have nothing better to do, I would still recommend you watch it. It's not that big of a commitment, it's only 12 episodes, and you might have an okay time.